do this! What is up, Techies? Today I'm going to be showing you guys a more advanced version, if you may, on how to surf securely and add an extra layer of anonymity on the World Wide Web. So drop everything except whatever device you're watching this video on and let's start searching. The internet is a very frightening environment or domain to be in, and you can get into really deep trouble. If one, you're clueless and just click on every link you see, or two, you're completely computer illiterate and you don't know what that rectangle does below that Google logo, you know? Or three, you're just completely unlucky. And unfortunately, the majority of victims that fall under these traps are kids because they aren't being monitored by the parents. And I don't blame them, the parents are working and such, right? But fortunately, I provided a special link in the description that will remove that barrier of monitoring your kids' activity online. So it's basically a monitoring software, and it has a few cool features that you guys should definitely check out. So link will be in the description. Check it out after this video. Before I reveal the first point, let me make a quick call to action for all you new viewers out there watching this video. So ask yourself this one question: do you love technology? Do you love innovation? If the answer is yes, then subscribe to my channel. Of course, this video is for the average person, you know, who checks emails, watches YouTube videos, watches more videos. No pun intended. If you're one of those 3 hopeless cases I mentioned early in the video, don't even bother taking notes. But leave a like though. I'm curious to see how many of you guys are out there. So one of the common things you probably heard about on how to browse the web safely are to avoid suspicious websites, download from trusted sites only, safe search on, get anti-spyware, get anti-malware, and update your OS. While they might seem like a good idea to follow for the average Joe, for some looking for more protection and privacy, it might not be enough. Okay, let's think abstractly. Let's say you got the badass new Firewall 3000. Okay, Firewall 3000, and you think that you're the shit. You're good. You're protected. And let's say someone from the other side is trying to get into that wall. Okay, firewall, and they can always climb over the firewall and look over it, or they might have a big telescope look over the firewall, right? Abstract. Or maybe they could cast a fishing net over that wall and try to fish for something. Yes, that was a pun intended. Or maybe they just happen to walk right in because you forgot to leave the gate locked. But just abstract thinking. What I'm trying to say is, if you're trying to add an extra layer of protection, then consider listening in right now for my first point. Alright, so tip number 1. Use Tor browser, which is short for the Onion router. This browser is commonly used by government agents, journalists to protect the anonymity of their communications. When you enter the Tor network, your information bounces off to multiple networks before entering the internet, and this design was intended in order to make it extremely difficult for anyone to track the user. So if you want to share the same web browser as the CIA agents, then download that shit right now. Everything I mentioned in this video will be in the description tab. My description tab is a very important tool. It's very important. There's a lot of information you get from there. There's timestamps, info, and everything else, and links. So definitely check that one out. Tip number 2: make sure the websites you visit are encrypted. And you can check this by checking the web protocol. How do you do that? If you click on the website URL, you can see the word HTTP in the beginning of that link. However, that is not what you want to see, because HTTP means it is not encrypted. What you want to see is a site with HTTPS, which uses secure sockets layer. So an HTTPS, or secure sockets layer, it's basically creating a tunnel from your computer to the server you're trying to access, and it protects the transport of your information from point A to point B. But here's the good part: if you're too lazy to check the link of the browser, then you could always just install what's this called, the HTTPS Everywhere extension, and that's for the Chrome. You can get other plugins or extensions from other browsers, but Chrome is basically what I use, basically what 90% of people use too. So if you use this extension, this will basically force the browser to go to the SSL version of the site, which is a lot safer. Just a heads up, the next website you visit after watching this video, be sure to check for HTTPS. Alright, the last one and the most easiest one to implement: no downloads, just press Ctrl-Shift-N. Yes, I'm talking about the Incognito mode for Google Chrome. Although it's not the most ultimate way to get secure on the web, there are some good reasons on why you should use it. So when you go incognito, your browser does not save your browsing history, your cookies, and your site data, which can be pretty useful in some cases. For example, when you're using public Wi-Fi or public computers, or when you're shopping online. Speaking of which, I was watching a CBC News Marketplace about how different browsers and incognito modes can affect online prices, so you should definitely check that video out. I'll put the link in the description. So what other security measures have you guys implemented on your computers to make it safer? Comment it down below. I would love to see what other security measures you guys did. And for you new viewers out there who are still not subscribed to my channel after listening to me ask you to subscribe in the beginning of the video, if you see the subscribe button still red, smack that subscribe button and turn on that post notifications on by clicking on that red bell notification right beside it. I hope this video gave you more info on browsing the web safely. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, be sure to leave a big thumbs up. You guys are the best. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Don't miss it.